Oh my God! What have I seen today? Full time from Portman Road in the fourth round of the FA Cup. It has finished. Ipswich Town 1, Maidstone United 2. Oh my God. They've done it again. George Alakobe has done it again. He's done it again. He has guided Maidstone United, little Maidstone United, right? The new Maidstone United that were only formed in 1992. Sadly, in the year which the original club had folded. But the new club are in the fifth round of the FA Cup, despite being in the National League South. Do you know what, right? You know what? Forget about Sutton and Lincoln's run in 2017. This has to be the greatest non-league run ever. Surely. Well, yeah, maybe you can argue with the Lincoln debate, because obviously Lincoln got to the quarterfinals, but Sutton United didn't when they were in the National League. But if you look at it now, Lincoln were in the National League, right, which is the fifth tier. Sutton were also in the same division as Lincoln. But by the way, Lincoln were managed by Danny Cowley, and they managed to get promoted that year as well. But if you look at it, not Sutton, Maidstone, they're in the National League South, right? Yeah, it's confusing because National League North and South, right, they're the same division, which is weird. It's weird, honestly. It's weird how that league works, if you know what I mean. But yeah, that's not to talk about, right? My thoughts on the game. I'll admit, Ipswich, they were the better team, right? Probably throughout the whole game, because they had more chances, they created more shots, they had more of the ball. But however, though, they still managed to lose. And, of course, in the first, 10 minutes of the game, of course, Maidstone were absolutely... that was expected with a top team as Ipswich in the Championship, playing against little Maidstone in the Premier League. I mean, yeah, yeah, it's just... And, of course, in the 41st minute, Darryl Edwards, I think his name is. I forgot who scored, but yeah, obviously... He dinked the ball over the keeper, and by the way, Maidstone's first goal was their first shot throughout the entire game, right? And it ended up being in the back of the net, and I'm like, oh my God. And then obviously, Sarmiento, of course, a lot of Ecuadorian fans would remember him being in the squad for the World Cup. But obviously I did a video on Ecuador against Qatar in the opening game of the World Cup. If you haven't checked that out, it's obviously on the channel now, or the World Cup playlist. But obviously he got the equaliser actually for Ipswich on Monday away at Leicester. And then obviously he got Ipswich level again. And of course, Sam Corn, probably the player that everyone's been was talking about throughout on Match of the Day. He scored the winning goal. And by the way, he was the man who scored the winning goal to knock Stevenage out. And by the way, people would say, yeah, would you say that's a giant killing? Because, I kind of get it. Because if you look at him, Stevenage are in League One, right? Maidstone are in the National League South. But that's a whole different level. Away at Ipswich, in the Championship, who are fighting for promotion to the Premier League, nearly 12 months after they were just in League One themselves. It is remarkable, really, for Maidstone. It really is absolutely extraordinary. They are in the fifth round of the FA Cup. And to be honest with you, as a City fan, I don't care, right, about our win last night. I'll actually talk about our game later on as well. So technically, it's kind of But this is more about the Ipswich Maidstone game. But obviously, technically, it also is a little thoughts and reaction for the Spurs City game last night. I'm going to include that in one video. But, I mean, from a neutral's perspective, it is remarkable to think that a non-league team like Maidstone have done it. It is remarkable. It really is remarkable to consider that they're in the last 16 of the cup, where they could potentially play the likes of Man City, Liverpool, Man United, Chelsea, Aston Villa, maybe Newcastle and them lot, right? It is remarkable for Maidstone. Even to say if George... And also, I remember George Alacobi saying after the Stevenage win that he would wanted to get Wolves. Because I think he was a former Wolves player. Or is he a boyhood Wolves fan or something like that? Unless if he was a boyhood Wolves fan or something like that, I knew he had something related with Wolves, but he wanted to get them away in the FA Cup, so that's not happening. Oh yeah, and also, speaking of Wolves, they've got the Black Country Derby tomorrow away at the Hawthorns, and I'm really looking forward to that, so I will be doing a video on that. But I wish that could happen, actually. Say, if Wolves win tomorrow, Maidstone could get Wolves at home, for example. That would be good. But, yeah. Enough about... Let's talk... Yeah, let's come back to Maidstone in a bit. Of course, yeah, like I did promise you, I would do something related to the City-Spurs game last night. But obviously, I'm not going to include it in the title. But, yeah, obviously, I'm buzzing. I'm buzzing that we won last night, right? I'm absolutely buzzing that we won. Don't get me wrong. I just think, obviously, with our recent record at Spurs, wasn't good. 5 losses, no goals. But before we scored that, we had 100 attempts in 5 games at their place, and we still hadn't even scored, which was remarkable until Nathan Ake, the absolute Dutch beast at the back, fired City to a 1-0 win, and the treble is still alive and kicking for the Blues. And yeah, but yeah, by the way, guys, I will get the Jurgen Klopp video out today. I promise you that, because I will try my hardest to get it out, to get that one out. But yeah, it was just slow and that, so I just thought, why not upload it tomorrow? But yeah, no, I'm not going to talk about that, but the story of the day has to go to Maidstone United, who are in the 5th round of the FA Cup. My man of the match, I'm going to give it to Lucas Collivan, because by the goalkeeper. By the way, a lot of Torquay fans, do you remember Lucas Collivan? Of course, he was the man who scored that equaliser in the National League playoff final a few years ago when Torquay played Hartlepool. I still remember it well, mate. Even though it was actually during the Euros, actually. Obviously, Wembley wasn't been able to be used, so the final was being played at Ashton Gate. But yeah, apart from the goal that Maidstone conceded, he was absolutely magnificent today, for Maidstone. No, hence why they won the game. All thanks to his goalkeeping heroics that has got Maidstone over the line and are in the 4th round of the FA Cup. Not the 4th round, sorry, the 5th round of the FA Cup. I'm still flabbergasting me. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Smash a like, subscribe. Maidstone fans, please share this video to all your mates. Get it on your social medias. And I can proudly say that your club are in the last 16, the 5th round of the FA Cup. And just 3 games away from Wembley in the semi-final. And also, before I go as well, you're the 2nd National League South side to get into the 4th round since Havant Waterlooville in 2008. And funnily enough, they played Liverpool. And they took the lead twice at Anfield that game. Yeah, I know they lost 5-2. But the mad reception from Havant and Waterlooville, even from the Liverpool fans that day, was absolutely extraordinary. That they were all over the press. all over the media, all over the news, even when they lost. That was the proudest day in their history. This tonight is well up there for non-league football as well in this country. It's developing, it's rising, it's extraordinary. And I love it, mate, because, yeah, I know I don't gain interest in Maidstone that much. Well, because obviously in the National League, I also like to keep a very close eye on, say, like Altrincham, Oldham and Rochdale. Because obviously they're all from Manchester. And obviously I am from Manchester, so obviously I like to keep an eye on the local clubs, like Withy Town, Wimshaw FC, Bury, etc. But, I mean, for a neutral's point of view, for this, it's extraordinary. But yeah, Maidstone fans, get this video out all over social media. And yeah, and also Freddie, if you're watching this, by the way, mate, congratulations on your win. You're in the 5th round of the FA Cup. Thank you for watching. I love peace and Techers.